Salutations, Darkstar here. Um, I don't know where this video is gonna go, man. I'm kind of just. Can I talk to the people for a second? You know what I mean? Um, no, there's no straight goal here. I'm kind of just rambling, really. Um, I don't know. It's God knows what time of the night. 1:14 in the night, and I got a day off from work or whatever, and I got another one, so I'm just, I guess, enjoying my time, really. Um, I had a mushroom experience earlier. I need to speak closer to the mic, but yes, I had a mushroom experience earlier, and I don't know, it wasn't really anything super crazy, really. Um, and I guess I wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm always suspecting some fun with mushrooms, but a lot of it was like really calm. Like most of what I remember from the trip is like the pain, the aches of the mushrooms, digesting in me and shit, and like all the aches and all that. But that being said, I felt like it kind of put a battery in my back to just do, like just go out and do something. And granted, it probably didn't help, or granted, some YouTube videos I was watching at the time probably helped. Um, I think for the longest time I got like stuck in like, the self-help loop. But my problem with the self-help loop, it's not really necessarily a problem because I don't know if it like necessarily works. But I think for me, it's like I didn't apply myself to it, like I didn't try. Like, like I'd watch a video and they'd have suggestions, like not suggestions, but they would have like step by step ideas of what to do to better whatever the fuck you're trying to better. And I would literally like not do those things. So I'm really just listening to what they're saying, like, oh, do this, do that, what I'm saying? You could do this. And if what they're saying made sense, like their philosophy on life, whoever self-help guru, I'd kind of like be like, okay. But the thing is, here we go again. I feel like a lot of them make sense. I mean, I feel like you can only say, one thing with self-help, But I mean, as long as you're bettering yourself, I don't think it matters how you get there, unless you're not, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I guess. Um, Man, so yeah, um, I came across this YouTuber a couple months ago, but I guess he's been active for years, and I don't want to get his name wrong, but I believe his name is Elijah Long, and I don't know, I don't know, I feel like he coined the term retard maxing, and man, I feel like I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna try to describe it the best way I can. But it's really, I guess I want to say not giving a fuck, but it's really just like not being in your head so fucking much, like maybe your first thought is your best one, and then what I mean. Once you think of the second, third, and the fourth, like you kind of shoot yourself in the foot, I suppose. Um, I don't know. I don't want to say we live in a world of things and that, but I don't know. We live in a world where like we live in a society that I feel like a lot of guys don't really know what they want to do, and I don't know. I think for me, like I'm at a crossroads where it's like I'm getting old enough to where it's like, well, it probably would have been nice to have been starting a family by now. I guess, I'm 27. Um, or I don't know. That's just kind of what I think, like I see a lot of people my age and younger, already like having kids and I don't know, like I hate to, I suppose I'd hate to be tied down, but at the same time, not really. Um, you see, even all this thinking it just feels like a mess, doesn't it? You know. Um, but yeah, like I'm at the age where I just kind of feel like I should have more. And that's probably not even a question. But I don't know. Here I am, kind of just living life one day at a time, no matter how much I may think I plan. Like I guess I don't really try to plan. Like I don't have like a vision board. I don't like write a journal or anything. But I go to the gym here and there. I'll eat kind of decent here and there. Um, and I don't know. I suppose that for the longest time, I kind of believed in maybe like a singular will, like a true self, I should say. And I kind of thought as long as you're aligned with your true self, you'll do what you need to do. Now, I guess I come here to argue that maybe I still feel that way, despite maybe things not working out. Um, I kind of think like at this point, I kind of should just take what life throws at me and like not get mad, like not put the blame on life. And I think I've done that. Like I think I've like mostly like tried to make myself the responsible person. At least in the fact that like I've at least told myself, okay, everything that's happened to you is your fault. But now that I'm thinking about it, I suppose I haven't. Like I feel like I'm still mad at people for how I turned out, and I don't want to do that. Like because like some of these people are people that like I feel like I want to see again, and that's not always the case. There's some people like I'm fine if I never see again, but a lot of these people are those closest to you. Family members or friends or lovers that you just let in too close, and they just being human didn't say the right things at the moment, didn't treat you the right way at the moment. Um, so I suppose first things first, I just want to forgive. You know, I kind of want to forgive the world for how it is. I want to forgive my mom, my aunts and uncles, my grandfather, my grandma, maybe some stepdads who might have stepped up, here and there. Um, Cousins, cousins who I felt maybe kicked me while I was down, or I don't know if I said it, but yeah, just friends, or just people I've come across. I just, like I forgive you for any way that like I might have taken negatively from, such an experience. I kind of think the bad like kind of needs to happen. There's this other YouTuber I've come across, and his name is Martin Butler, and he has a couple YouTube channels, but I believe the one that like I guess I enjoy maybe the most is I believe it's called Corporeal Fantasy by Martin Butler. And man, I don't really I can't think of like his background so much, but I believe he might have been a professor or just someone who studied physics, metaphysics, and I don't know some. Yeah, let me just leave it there. A real smart older gentleman, and I guess he's big on like I guess what stands out to me, he's big on like a lot of Spinoza, the philosopher Spinoza, and I think he has like a real, I want to say like a bare bones philosophy on life. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. Like, I guess just what I'm taking away from it is that like I don't know. He's spoken on, like how the pursuit of happiness is pretty futile. And like you suffer because you seek pleasure or you just seek happiness. You know what I mean? And I guess he promotes the idea that like you'll be happy as soon as you realize you can't be happy. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like not doing things for happiness or pleasure, but just doing them because that's what the body does. Like maybe it's like I don't know, like maybe it's like we could like realize things, but we can't. And I hope I'm not butchering what he's saying, but I guess I'm just saying it how I'm taking it. Um, we kind of just take what life gives us and we let life change us. And maybe the most thinking we have to do about it is, I don't know, probably just the reflection on it, I suppose. Like you might have to acknowledge where you're at in life, but then you kind of just got to keep going. Like for me, I feel like of all of philosophies I may have picked up and I might have taken a fondness to, no one philosophy is perfect, and or just way of life, whatever. But phew, it's like you just keep going. Like I guess in life you just like this is not on some motivational stuff, but like you just choose to keep going. Um, I grew up Christian. I guess was a Protestant Christian. Like a lot of Americans are, I believe. Um, and I had beliefs thrown on me before I really, I guess, got a chance to like really try to understand and grasp what was happening to me. So I feel like I go back to Christianity a lot. Like I'm trying to understand it, you know, and I don't know. At the end of the day, like even though I may not have like, the generic faith, but that like I feel like most people might have, or some people might have, whatever. I think that like I could still value like other religions and what I'm saying, other philosophies and ways of life. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, whatever keeps you going, man. Um, but the thing is, the thing that these channels have kind of might have taught me is that uh, like you just live life, man, and not just live life, but like yeah, you just live life, dude. You just do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And like the pain of whatever the fuck you got going on, people not agreeing with you, like, maybe family being disappointed in you, like, friends, changing friends, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things that you may not want to do, losing a lover, like you may not, all these things that, you may not want to happen, like they come with life, you know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be like a mistake. And it's probably not even, I probably shouldn't even say a mistake, but there's gonna be outcomes you don't want to have in life. And I think I don't know. I think there's like a thing, and I still do it. Like of just being frustrated that you're not, that you're having a hard time, achieving what you think you want to achieve. Like even for me, it's like I'm not totally fucking sure what I want. And I hate to say this at 27, like Like, I don't know what the fuck I want, really. Like, I think I have an idea, you know. I think I want a family. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, in a world where anything sounds good, you know, I see people with families all the time. And I don't know if it's something that, like, maybe I want off rip, but I suppose it is. It's something I've always wanted, you know? Like, I've always thought about, or just, maybe not I've wanted it, but I've always, you know, like, seen myself with children. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm at the age where I can have children. And, you know, I could probably have done it for a long time by now, you know? But I'm still, like, not comfortable with where I'm at in life, you know? Financially, hell, even mentally. But, I think a lot of what might have to happen is that I'm gonna have to, you know, start shooting things out the wall and make some mistakes, you know. Uh, and I wish like you know expecting the mistakes were easy, but they're not easy, you know. Especially if like you're like you witnessing of these mistakes, you know, like come in the form of someone else in your life, you know, like someone close to you, you know, someone you can't stand, like you know, like family members you can't stand, like it, but like they're telling you like your life is fucked up because of this, and like the pain that you have is like that they're probably fucking right, you know. I think that's really more so the pain. It's like I guess like I don't really feel like the criticism helps, you know. Like I feel like it just it weakens me, which is a shitty thing to say, but it's like if something's not motivating you, and maybe it's just not about motivation, like I'm saying, you know, like I feel like I've just like have not spoken to family members and people close to me because I just don't want them to see where I'm at, and I don't want them to shit on it, you know. But that comes across very cowardly, you know, and like I'm kind of fine with it because I don't feel like I need to really talk to anybody right now. But you know, the people that I do have in my life that I do see directly in front of me every day, like it's important to like not. I feel like it's important to me to not really make them. You know, I don't want to turn anybody into an enemy. You know, I want to be able to talk to everyone. You know, and not worry about like what they might say or do to me. You know, and I do worry about what people might say and do to me, but it's kind of like you got to play. You know, you got to be damned if you do, damned if you don't. You got to play to win, and it's really what it is, man. It's really just about playing to win, dude. Like I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. They say your first thought is probably your best thought. I don't know who says that, but I've definitely heard people be like, yeah, like the problem is, you know, you have one thought, but the problem comes in that you have multiple thoughts after that, like thoughts about that thought, you know. um, so if anything, I would say this mushroom trip was more so of a reflection, I guess, like a needed reflection. Even though I'm coming out of it still with like no, like I got some answers, and I guess that's what I'm saying, but I don't really like. I still feel like I'm going into the wilderness. I'm still in the wilderness, man. And honestly, that's fine. Um, I don't know. I feel like I might have mentioned this in some of my other videos, but I guess I'll do it again. But I hear people like Mr. Long talking about, speaking on the, original Genesis story of Adam and Eve, and how Eden was perfect and they had everything they needed, but they were tempted by, you know, the serpent or Satan or, whatever the fuck, the adversary of God. And, you know, I don't know. I suppose I've like studied a bit of like the left hand path and I feel like that's made me quite cynical to like a lot of these stories, but I think like these stories should be examined like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to pick up what you pick up yourself. And so I think what I'm about to say unfortunately isn't from me, but it's something that I've been pondering that like I guess obviously like in Christianity like the mistake was, eating the fruit and accessing knowledge and challenging God, challenging your source. Um but I kind of saw it as a good thing because it's like I don't know, I always thought of God as like a, what's the word? God is like a prisoner. Um but maybe I'm just at the point where it's like God is indifferent, and I kind of think the thing is like we might, if we had not eaten the fruit, we would have we would have been gods, you know like we wouldn't have such trouble. And this is not even Christian propaganda. This is just like I feel like we think so fucking much, you know what I'm saying? Like we got too smart for our own good, and that's why people fuck up. Some people are successful and some people are fucking depressed, and they can't do nothing with their fucking lives, because they're whatever the fuck they're feeling, guilt, maybe just overthinking something, you know what I'm saying? Like they're chasing something. And I suppose like I've always been like someone deep down who didn't want to do anything unless I really wanted to do it. Like, like I had some sports forced on me when I was younger, and I think I grew to like them for a moment of time, but as I got older and just even being left to my own devices, it's like, like I kind of just look into like sports and things just to fit in, really. But I don't really give a fuck about none of that shit. And I didn't become an athlete off this shit, and that's because I didn't fucking want to do it. Like at the end of the day, I had people push me to try to do things, even compared me to other family members, which actually, I don't know, gave me an inferiority complex of the sorts. But I come back looking at it now, and it's like, I'm like, dude, you just didn't really want to do all that shit, you know. And a part of me is kind of like, and I'm like probably not being honest right now, but I just think, uh, I just think you just gotta let go, and I think I just gotta let go and just like stop trying to like, I don't know, like it's kind of like a double-edged sword because like a part of me wants to stop trying to put pressure on the outcomes I want, but I feel like the pressure is what's gonna push me. But has it though, or has it made me choke when I do? And I'd say the latter. It has made me choke, and So here we are living life, and I guess if I'm making any declaration, it's just that, like, I'm just gonna keep living, man. I'm gonna keep living until I can't. I'm gonna try to make some good choices, and I think at the point where it's like I gotta stop the try thing, and it's like fuck it, I'm gonna make some better choices. Um, like I'm a person who makes good choices. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really not saying that on some like law of attraction shit. I'm just saying that because that just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think better of myself. Because I just think I could do better. So I'm gonna become better. And I think a part of that is already deciding that that's what you are. And I'm gonna leave it at that. No other, whoop-de-doo, no Neville Goddard, no, you know what I'm saying? Like just no Napoleon Hill, just unless they're fucking, I don't know, unless people are listening who are into that. But like dude, just believe in believe in the plot, even if you don't know what it is. Like just believe in it. Like just believe in your life. Even if you don't know what the fuck is happening. You know what I'm saying? And then like there's a part of me that's like it wants to, like I'm doing it to prove people wrong. So I feel like off rip, whatever the mindset I may have is already going to be challenged because I'm like making this in response to certain people, and in a way it's kind of like so be it, and maybe I'll get some nuance from it, which I think I am, of just like my childhood and my absence of a father, I guess. My mom did. My mom has done her best, man. She did the best she could, and whatever shortcomings she may have had, like I forgive her. And I also forgive myself because I know I gave a lot of people, a lot of my guardians, a hard time and shit. And I bet there were definitely some days where they were just like, yo, like, I don't know what to do with this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like my aunt felt like that. I'm pretty sure my mom felt like that. My grandparents, other uncles, just people who've taken me in. Like, they're probably just at some point like, yo, like, what the fuck do we do with this fucking kid, man? And here I am now. I'm trying to figure it out, what we're doing. Um, and I think that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it. I'm here to figure out what it is, and I'm here to just live. I'm here to try different things. And yeah, and I think that's it, man. Um, anyway, I just felt like, I don't know, I just like kind of zoned out, and I just like put myself back in church. Like my mom got baptized today, and she asked me to go see it, even though like I have nothing to do with like any church of any sorts. But I said yes for her, and I guess I was just zoning out, thinking back to that, and just like yeah, just being okay with being myself, being okay in my own skin. Like it's time to grow up, but I think you have to like choose it. You can't choose it and fail and keep choosing it. You got to keep choosing it, even though you fail, even though like shit may not look like it's working out. Like keep choosing it, unless you absolutely don't want to choose it. Like you don't think you need to choose it anymore. But I'm gonna keep choosing life, and I'm gonna keep choosing whatever life throws at me. And I'm gonna alchemize it. I'm the alchemist, and all this shit in life is, I think, equivalent exchange enough. And sorry, I'm not thinking. I guess I may not be thinking of like full real alchemy rules. I'm thinking of the anime Full Metal Alchemist, which I'm, no offense to the creator if they, had real alchemy on that shit, but I just don't know that. So, um, when I speak on alchemy, I'm really only speaking of my knowledge of Full Metal Alchemist, and Yeah, here I am. Um, I don't know. I'm basically at the point where it's like I'm at this video and like I'm talking, but like I could just as easily just like fucking doze off right now. So let me end it there. Thanks for listening and goodbye.